So the name of my show is called Uptown. Why is it called Uptown? Because Uptown is a term used to refer to the northern section of Manhattan. And in the 1920s, everybody wanted to be uptown in Harlem. 1920s Harlem has suddenly become the home of many of the most prominent African-American artists, entertainers, activists, athletes, and crime figures. And they were all rubbing elbows in nightclubs, in coffee shops, in schools, in churches, in offices, in apartment buildings, in barbershops, and in beauty salons. So the collection of all this talent, all in one place, all at the same time, created a renaissance. And that renaissance created possibilities for African Americans unlike any other time in history. So in my show, Uptown, 3 gifted people, a writer, a musician, and a gangster, each moved to Harlem to seize the extraordinary opportunities provided by the Harlem Renaissance. And because they know that they're living in a special moment in time, they feel compelled to strive for greatness. But what they don't expect is the price they'll have to pay for their ambitions. The first of our 3 main characters is Francis Anderson. Francis is a talented, smart young writer who has the makings of a revolutionary journalist, intellectual, storyteller, and activist. She moves to Harlem wanting to make an impact on the world like her 1920s Harlem contemporaries such as Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes, Marcus Garvey, and W.E.B. Du Bois. But the fallout from major world events leads Frances to discover that she's at philosophical odds with Harlem's high-powered literary circle. So Frances realizes that she's going to have to affect change as a pariah in order to actualize her truth to power. The second of our 3 main characters is Cameron Miles, known affectionately as Cam. Cam is handsome, he's charming, and he's multi-talented. Cam moves to Harlem wanting to be the ultimate Renaissance man. He wants to be a big musical star like Duke Ellington. He wants to be a famous actor like Paul Robeson. And he wants to be a world-class filmmaker like Oscar Micheaux. But when Cam gets to Harlem, he discovers that stardom for talented black people only comes by pandering to racist white audiences. And Cam isn't willing to compromise his integrity. So in order to transcend this precedent set by these racist gatekeepers, Cam is going to have to empower himself. But that's going to require commitment. And that commitment is going to require him to sacrifice some relationships in his life, like his marriage, his kids, and his friends. The last of our 3 main characters is John Henderson, known in the streets as Lefty. The only thing Lefty knew how to be since he was 12 years old is gangster. So Lefty moves to Harlem inspired by his 1920s contemporaries, like Al Capone and Lucky Luciano and Nucky Johnson. But Lefty doesn't want a criminal operation that specializes like those guys, nah. He wants a multi-pronged criminal empire. Drug dealing, bootlegging, racketeering, money laundering, prostitution. He wants it all. And Lefty has everything it takes to become a legendary crime figure. He's savvy, he's ruthless, and most importantly, he has vision. But he has one weakness, though: love. He wants to be loved. And in the criminal world, love and power don't mix. So Lefty is going to have to fight loneliness in order to rise to the top. So this show has the 1920s look and feel of Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris. It has the urgency of Spike Lee's Malcolm X. And it has the epic storytelling of Scarface. This show is about the price of ambition. This show is also about the Harlem Renaissance. And when you're telling a story about an era like this, you feel compelled to treat it with reverence. But we're not doing that in Uptown, because we're going to be challenging some of that history and the impact of its legacy on today's world. So why should I, be trusted with portraying arguably the most precious era of African American history. Because I was born to do it. I'm African American. I was born and raised in New York City. And I love period pieces. But there's more to it than that. I am these characters. I know the price of ambition. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I wanted to make my impact on this renaissance in television. But when I came here, I had no job, I had no money, I had no family, I had no friends, and most importantly, I had no connections. So in order to get to a place where I could stand in front of you today, I had to write my way here. So while you were dating, I was writing. While you were traveling, I was writing. While all of you were living, I was writing. And what I came up with is Uptown. Thank you.